Hello again. Oh, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show! And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. Okay, let's review evidence once again. Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. The explosion has burned the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking. Seriously? Okay, I have to close the window. They can't fucking be serious about what they are doing. They're retarded neighbors. It's 10 AM, bro. Dude, this fucking retards, I can't believe it. There was no blood on the ground around the body. Okay.
まずは学級裁判の簡単な説明から始めましょう。学級裁判の結果はお前らの投票により決定されます。正しい黒を指摘できれば黒だけがお仕置き。だけどもし間違った人物を黒とした場合は黒以外の全員がお仕置きされ、みんなを欺いた黒だけが晴れて卒業となります。じゃあ、あとはお前らに任せるよ。
まずは被害者の特定からだ。正体不明の被害者、あれが誰なのかをはっきりさせておく必要がある。
死んだのはキリギリッチだべ。それ以外にありえない。
Kyoko.
キリギリならそこにいるじゃない。
違う、あれは幽霊だべ。
足もあるけど、
おそらくそれは進化を遂げた最新鋭の幽霊なんだべ。
バカバカしいにも程がある。
あの死体がキリギリさんじゃないってことを証明すればいいんだよね。だったらキリギリさんの特徴とあの死体の特徴を照らし合わせてみようか。
キリギリちゃんの特徴って？
これだ。キリギリさんの手袋だよ。そこに謎を解く手がかりがあるはずなんだ。
それならキリギリが手袋を身につけている理由も説明しておいた方がいいんじゃないか。
知ってるの？
Would you happen
こ
to
の
know the
国から
answer?
聞いたぞ。手にある人に見せたくない跡を隠すためらしいな。
あ、そういえばあの死体って手袋してなかったよね。
爆発で手袋が燃えただけだろ。そんなんじゃ俺は納得しねえぞ。みんな幽霊に惑わされてんだべ。
But if I can't prove, so I don't have any choice but to.
こにいるキリギリッチは幽霊なんだ。
そんなわけないじゃない。
ならキリギリッチが幽霊じゃねえって証明してみろ。
あの死体って手袋してなかったよ。
爆発のせいで燃えただけだべ。
じゃあ爆発前は手袋してたの？
手袋はしてたはずだべ。だって死んだのはキリギリッチなんだからな。
バカバカしい議論だ。
そこにいるキリギリッチは幽霊なんだ。
そんなわけないじゃない。
ならキリギリッチが幽霊じゃねえって証明してみろ。
あの死体って手袋してなかったよ。
爆発のせいで燃えただけだべ。
じゃあ爆発前は手袋してたの？
きっと手袋は
してたはずだべ。
それは違う。
いや、あの死体は手袋をしてなかったはずだよ。だってあの死体って付け爪をしてたよね。あんな付け爪をしてたら手袋をするのに邪魔なはずだよ。それにキリギリさんが手袋をしているのは手を隠すためなんだよ。手を隠したい人が付け爪をしてるなんてなんか変じゃない？
知らんのか？女心は複雑なんだべ。
女心を知らないのは確実にあんたの方だけどね。
どうだキリギリ。
この手袋は日常生活に支障をきたさないように私の手の大きさに合わせて作られている。付け爪なんかしていたらこの手袋はつけられないと。
じゃあこれではっきりしたよね。あの死体がキリギリさんじゃないってことがさ。
当然だろう。キリギリはそこにいるんだからな。
じゃああの被害者って誰なんだ？それをはっきりさせねえと。
最初からそう言っている。お前が話を回りくどくしているだけだ。
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there.
キリギリッチが生きてるってことはあの被害者は何者なんだべ。
何か知る方法はないのかな。
Oh, can they stop?
死体の顔は燃えてて判別不可能だし。
Oh fuck. Sorry.
しまった。
キリギリッチが生きてるってことはあの被害者は何者なんだべ。
何か知る方法はないのかな。
死体の顔は燃えてて判別不可能だしモノコマファイルには記述はないわね。
死体の身元がわからないとなると。
それは違う。
死体の身元を知るための手がかりなら
There's one
ちゃん
clue.
と残されてたよ。
本当に？
嘘だったらあんた珍しい死に方するわよ。
珍しい死に方？なんか気になんべ。
なんなんよ。苗木無視して話して。
死体の身元を知るための手がかりは彼女の手の甲にあったタトゥーだよ。
なんだか変わったデザインだけど、これって犬？
ご主人様に惚れされたのね。私はあなたのメスイナですって意味で。
そんな屈辱的な意味が隠されてたんかい。
そうじゃない。そのタトゥーには被害者の正体が隠されているんだ。
そのタトゥーに？
これだ。傭兵部隊フェンリル。戦場ムクロが所属してた 傭兵部隊の名前だよ。
それがどうしたんだね。
フェンリルに所属する兵士たちは自分が組織の一員であることを示すために
I'm just wondering if the microphone picks this up, and it probably does, so fuck these guys. Whoever is training is a fucking wacky retard.
必ず体のどこかにフェンリルを表す刻印を刻んでいるらしい。
フェンリルを表す刻印？
Wolf.
そうか、分かったぞ。狼だ。それがフェンリルを表す刻印なんだ。
フェンリル、終末の狼。北欧神話に登場する狼の姿をした巨大な怪物のことよ。北欧神話のトラブルメーカーであるロキと女巨人アングルボザの間の子であるとされている。
久々に文学少女の片鱗を見たべ。
狼の刻印って、じゃあもしかして。
そうなんだ。あの死体にあったタトゥーは狼のタトゥーだったんだよ。つまりあの死体の人物はフェンリルに所属していた過去の
Oh, I hate my neighbors so much. I hate them so much, man.
戦場ムクロだったんだ。
ちょっと待ってよ。戦場ムクロって黒幕の正体だったはずじゃ。
驚いてるみたいだね。だけど大正解だよ。そうなんだ。今回の学級裁判は戦場ムクロ殺しの学級裁判だったんだよ。
どういうこと？黒幕が死んでその学級裁判が開かれるなんて。
そうじゃない。戦場ムクロが黒幕だという前提自体が間違っていたということだ。
でも超高校級の絶望って明らかに黒幕っぽいフレーズなのに。
But he was the ultimate soldier, was she?
いや、そもそも戦場ムクロが超高校級の絶望だったということすら怪しい。俺が見た戦場ムクロのプロフィールにはそんな記述は一切なかった。戦場ムクロは超高校級の軍人とあっただけだ。確かあの情報の出元はキリギリ京子、お前が苗木に教えたんだったな。
つまりキリギリッチの情報が間違ってたってことか。
それじゃあ戦場ムクロって何者だったの？ずっと姿を消しててようやく現れたと思ったら殺されちゃってるなんて。普通重要な登場人物が死ぬ場面っていうのはもっと描写がまどろっこしくなるものなのに。
つまり重要な登場人物ではなかったということだ。戦場ムクロは俺たちと同じただの参加者でしかなかったんだよ。
じゃあ黒幕って誰だべ。
やっぱり希望が峰学園の学園長なんじゃ。いいえ、学園長は関係ないはず。
No, the headmistress has nothing to do with it.
だが戦場ムクロの情報だって間違っていたんだ。その情報も怪しいもんだな。
私の情報は
My information was not
間違
wrong.
っていないわ。
はいはい、今は学級裁判中ですよ。戦場ムクロを殺した黒を解き明かすのが先でしょう。それ以外の死後は返金ってことでお願いしますよ。
いいだろう。黒幕の正体を暴くのは後回しだ。 だが覚えておけよ。必ずお前の正体を見つけ出してやる。俺の戸上の名にかけてだ。
僕はそういう挑発は相手にしないことにしてるの。さて、お前らが混乱しないようにもう一度はっきり言っておくけど、学級裁判が起きるのは学園の生徒たちの間で殺人が起きた場合なんだからね。その点をしっかりと頭に叩き込んでおくように。
つまり被害者も犯人も生徒の誰かということだな。
Both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body.
じゃあ戦場ムクロはこの中の誰かに殺されたってこと？
いや、17人目の高校生が隠れてるって可能性も。
ありません。参加者は全部で16人の高校生だけです。
マジかよ。じゃあこの中に戦場ムクロを殺した犯人がいるんか？
誰よ？誰が殺したの？
慌てるな。すでに容疑者は絞られている。苗木、お前には分かっているはずだ。絞られている容疑者。
これだ。絞られてる容疑者って僕とキリギリさんのことだよね。
どうしてそうなるの？
いいだろう、説明してやるか。昨日の夜時間直後に俺は植物庭園に行っている。その場所に死体がなかったことをな。つまり殺人が行われたのは俺が植物庭園に行った以降ということになる。だがな、その後俺と葉隠れと深川と朝比奈はずっと体育館にいたんだ。
体育館に？
俺たち4人は体育館でモノクマの解体作業に取り掛かっていたんだよ。その間俺たちは警戒のため単独行動を避けていた。つまり俺たち4人にはアリバイがあるんだ。それも完璧なアリバイがな。
逆に私と苗木君にはアリバイがない。だから容疑者は絞られてると言ったの。
そういうことだ。
Me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
ちょっといいかな。さっきのアリバイについてなんだけど。
何か反論があるのか？
Raising an objection?
反論の前に殺人が起きた時間帯をもう少し正確に割り出したいんだ。そうすれば何かわかるかも。
好きにしろ。誰か協力してやれ。
俺は戸上っちと一緒に植物庭園に死体がないのを確認してるぞ。あれは夜時間直後、夜10時くらいだったべ。つまり殺人が起きたのは夜10時以降だべ。
そこから死体を発見するまでの間が殺人が起きた時間帯ってことでいいんだよね。あれ、でも私たちが死体を発見したのって何時くらいだったっけ？
鶴橋を取りに行った深ワッチが最初に死体を見つけたんだろうな。
これだ。死体を発見したのは9時だったはずだよ。だって深川さんが鶴橋を取りに行ったのが
901.
確かに9時くらいだったわね。
つまり殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から朝9時までの間ってことだな。
僕は昨日夜時間前から寝ちゃってたんだ。だから夜10時以降のアリバイはないんだけど、でも朝9時より前にみんなと合流したはずだよ。
食堂で私と会ったよね。あれは確か、そうだ、7時30分くらいだった。食堂に入る時に確認したから間違いないよ。
つまりナイギッチのアリバイがねえのは夜10時から朝7時30分までの間ってことだな。
殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から朝9時までの間だ。
一方ナイディッチのアリバイがないのが
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
それだけの時間があれば殺人は可能なはず。マイリー、何か反論があるなら言ってみろ。殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から朝9時までの間だ。
一方ナイディッチのアリバイがないのが
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から朝9時までの間だ。
一方ナイディッチのアリバイがないのが
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
Huh? What is up with this shit?
殺人が起きたと思わ
Let
れ
me
る
guess,
時
I
間
have to
帯
select
は
one of the sentences.
夜10時から朝9時までの間だ。
一方ナイディッチのアリバイがないのが
夜10時から朝7時30分までの間だったよね。
それだけの時間があれば殺人は可能なはず。マイリー、何か反論があるなら言ってみろ。殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から殺人が起きたと思われる時間帯は夜10時から
それは違うよ。いや、殺人が起きたのは夜10時以降じゃない。確実にもっと後だったはずだよ。
なぜそう思うんだ？
植物庭園のスプリンクラーだよ。あのスプリンクラーは毎朝7時30分に水がまかれる設定だったよね。つまり死体が朝7時30分よりも前に植物庭園にあったなら、あの死体は水で濡れていなきゃおかしいんだよ。
ちょっと待ちなさいよ。私はちゃんと覚えてるわよ。死体は濡れてたはず。びしょびしょだったはずよ。
深さん、それは違うんだ。
違う？何が違うのよ。濡れてるのは下の口がこうとか言うつもり？承知しないわよ、そんないやらしいこと。
いや、そうじゃなくて、あの死体が濡れてたのはスプリンクラーのせいじゃないんだよ。
スプリンクラーのせいじゃ。そうやってスプリンクラーを否定することで私の存在自体を否定するつもりなのね。
うわ、確実にネジ飛んでんだよ。
スプリンクラーが関係ないって言うなら根拠を言ってみなさいよ。認めないから悪魔のよ。知らないわよ。待ちなさいよ。私が正しいのよ。悪魔のよ。知らないわよ。待ちなさいよ。私が正しいのよ。認めないから。私を責めるの？認めないから悪魔のよ。知らないわよ。スプリンクラー。
これで証明するよ。スプリンクラーのせいじゃないってことは、 爆破後の死体の状況を見ればわかるはずだよ。あの死体って上半身だけが濡れてて下半身は全く濡れてなかったよね。もし死体の濡れた原因がスプリンクラーなら全身がまんべんなく濡れてるはずじゃない？
上だけ濡れて下が濡れてない。なんて鬼畜マニアックなの。もうやだよ。
説明を続けるよ。どうして死体の上半身だけが濡れてたのか。あの死体が燃えた時僕が水をかけたせいなんだ。燃えている上半身だけにね。
じゃあ死体が濡れてたのって本当にスプリンクラーのせいじゃないのね。
そして死体がスプリンクラーで濡れてないなら植物庭園で殺人が起きたのはスプリンクラーが作動する朝7時30分以降ってことになるはずだよ。
じゃあ殺人が起きたのは朝7時30分から死体を発見した9時までの間だな。
でも苗木のアリバイがないのって昨日の夜10時から朝7時30分までだったよね。
だったら苗木っちに犯行は不可能だべ。苗木っちのアリバイも成立じゃねえか。
そうなるとアリバイがないのはキリギリだけということになるな。
Well, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone
一
that's...
つだけ言っておくわ。
I would just like to say one
私
thing.
がここで処刑されたらこの学園の謎は明らかにならな
If
い。
you wait for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever.
だから絶対にそうはさせない。
つまりお前は犯人ではないということか？
当然でしょ。私が犯人なんてそんなわけない。これは黒幕の罠なのよ。黒幕の罠？
この後に及んで僕のせいにする気？苦しいよ。そりゃ苦しいって。そんな言い訳が通用すると思ってんの？
お前は黙っていろ。
はーい、黙ってまーす。
だがキリギリ、
You got it, boss.
お前には戦場ムクロを殺す動機もあったはずだ。
動機？
キリギリは戦場ムクロを超高校級の絶望と言っていた。つまりだからこそ戦場ムクロを殺し全てを終わらせようとしたんじゃないのか？だが実際は違った。戦場ムクロは黒幕ではなかった。そこにキリギリの誤算があったんだ。そしてキリギリにとっては予想外とも言えるこの学級裁判が始まってしまった。
それがキリギリの動機？
動機があってアリバイがないとなるとこりゃもう確実にキリギリっちが犯人なんじゃ。
アリバイがないのは私だけじゃない。苗木くんのアリバイは不十分よ。死体がスプリンクラーで濡れていないから殺人が朝7時30分以降に起きたとは言い切れないわ。
どうして？
死体をスプリンクラーで濡らさない方法があるからね。
面白い。言ってみろ。
現場にあったあるものを死体にかぶせれば濡らさずに済んだはず。
これだ。もしかしてあのビニールシートのこと？
気づいたみたいね。そう、あのビニールシートを死体にかぶせればスプリンクラーをやり過ごすことが可能になるわ。実際犯人はその方法を使ったはずよ。あのビニールシートの汚れ方がそれを物語っているわ。ビニールシートの片面だけが汚れていたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたから。逆に死体に面していた裏面はスプリンクラーを浴びてないから汚れてもいない。つまり犯人はビニールシートを使って死体がスプリンクラーで濡れることを防いだのよ。
そこまでして死体が濡れるのを防いだ理由は何だ？
おそらく殺人が起きた時間帯を誤認させるためじゃないかしら。さっきの苗木くんのような言い訳をするためにね。
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. The tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body?
いやそれはおかしいよ。
何おかしいの？
I have to refute what Kyoko said.
犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせることで死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。死体に面してただけだから綺麗なままで当然だべ。
犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせることで死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。
犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせることで死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。
しまった。
There's no blood on it,
犯
which
人は
is
死
what
体
the
にビ
game
ニ
is
ール
trying
シ
to
ート
tell
をかぶ
me.
せることで死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。死体に面してただけだから綺麗なままで当然だべ。
犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせることで死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。死体に面してただけだから綺麗なままで当然だべ。
しまった。僕たちはここで諦めたりしないぞ。
Okay, what would be the logical way to refute the argument here? I mean, body before explosion, exploded body analysis, fragments near the body. Has to be the body before explosion.
死体が濡れないようにしたの。
じゃあビニールシートが片面だけ汚れてたのはその面がスプリンクラーを浴びたせいか。
でもそのビニールシートの裏面は少しも汚れてなかったよね。
そっちはスプリンクラーを浴びてねえからな。死体に面してただけだから綺麗なままで当然だべ。
それは違うよ。やっぱり片面だけが綺麗な状態っていうのはおかしいよ。だってさ、爆破される前の死体ってまだ血が乾いてない状態だったんだよ。触ると汚れる危険性がある。戸上君だってそう言ってたよね。そんな死体にビニールシートをかぶせたら間違いなく血で汚れちゃうはずだよ。
犯人が洗ったんじゃね？ビニールシートが使われたことを隠すためによ。
それなら両面を洗い流すはずだ。片面だけ洗ったところで隠したことにはならない。
そりゃまあ
そもそもその時の死体の血自体が犯人の偽装工作だとしたら、つまり犯人はビニールシートでスプリンクラーをやり過ごした後で
If after the killer used it out to avoid the
死体
sprinklers.
の上から偽物の血を撒いたんじゃないかしら。偽物の血ってそんなものがどこにある
There's a chicken missing.
分かった。保健室の輸血用の血じゃねえか。前に山田っちが死んだふりをした時、あいつはあの血を使ってたはずだべ。
いいえ、今回の殺人で使われたのは、犯人は現場の植物庭園から
これだ。もしかして
Could it have been the chicken blood?
鶏の血？事件前に植物庭園の飼育小屋を見たときはそこに鶏が5羽いたのに、事件後には4羽に減ってたんだ。
There were only 4.
つまり犯人は鶏を殺してその血を使ったってんか。なんつう残酷なことすんだべ。
そんなことで生き物を殺すなんてひどいよ。どうせだったら私が食べたのに。
犯人がわざわざ現場から血を調達したのは、自分が歩き回る姿を目撃されたくなかったからかしら。とにかく実際に鶏が減っていることが今の推理の根拠になるはずよ。
だとしても少々引っかかるな。犯人はビニールシートでスプリンクラーをやり過ごし、その後で偽物の血を撒いたと言ったな。だが死体の上から血を撒いたなら周辺の床にも血が流れてしまうはずだ。あの時の死体は違ったぞ。血で汚れていたのは死体の服だけだ。周辺の床は全く汚れてなかった。
確かに周辺の床が全く汚れていないのは変ね。だとしたら犯人はその場で血を撒いたんじゃなくて、前もって白衣に血を付着させておいたのかもね。
前もって白衣に血を？
あなたたちが発見した時の死体ってその白衣をちゃんと着ていたの？
確か。いや、袖を通していなかった。上から白衣をかけられただけの状態だったよ。
And he was stabbed in the back? Oh. Oh, that's not what it meant, okay. It seemed weird for a second.
これで決まりね。
ごめん、話についていけてないんだけど、どう決まったの？
つまり殺人が起きたのはスプリンクラーが作動するより前だったのよ。それなのに死体が濡れなかったのは犯人が死体にビニールシートをかぶせたから。そしてその後犯人はビニールシートを回収するのと同時にあらかじめ偽物の血で汚しておいた白衣を死体の上にかける。犯人はこれら一連の偽装工作を行うことで殺人が起きた時間帯を誤認させようとしたのに、殺人はスプリンクラーが動く7時30分よりも後に起きたんだろうね。
確かにその方法なら7時30分よりも前に殺人を実行することが可能だな。
だけどさ、その偽装工作をするためにはスプリンクラーが終わった後に植物庭園に行かなくちゃいけないよね。
大した時間はかからない。ビニールシートを回収した後用意しておいた白衣をかけるだけ。大した時間はかからないわ。
それはそうかもしれないけど。
朝比奈さんは食堂で苗木くんと会った後彼と一緒に行動したの？
私は先に体育館に行ってて、苗木は後から遅れてきたんだよ。
じゃあそのくらいの時間的余裕はあったわね。
That's not.
不可能とは言い切れないはずよ。
どうやらキリギリの言う通りのようだ。苗木のアリバイは不十分だ。
And the suspicion falls back on me again. Why? Is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to the truth bullet section.
さてと、振り出しに戻ったな。苗木のアリバイが不十分となると、容疑者は苗木とキリギリの2人ということになる。
リアルな話、どっちが犯人だべ。よっしゃ、思い切って運に任せっか。2分の1の確率だし。だろう？ナイスアイディアだべ。
そうじゃなくて、すごいこと思い出しちゃったんだけど。
なんだ？言ってみろ。
あのさ、現場に黒焦げになったナイフが落ちてたでしょ？
ああ、爆発前の死体に刺さってたやつだべ。モノクマファイルによると、腹部から背中までぶっ刺さってたらしいぞ。で、そのナイフがどうした？
あのナイフ、どこかで見た気がしてたんだけど、それを思い出しちゃったんだよね。私が苗木に預けたナイフ。
驚かないということは、とっくに気づいていたようだな。
Yeah.
だったら、なぜ隠していた？
隠してたわけじゃないんだ。ただ、
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
怪しすぎるべ。死体に刺さってたナイフが苗木っちのもんだったってことは、こりゃもう間違いねえべ。1200% の確率で苗木っちが犯人だべ。
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
あの死体に刺さってたナイフってさ、私が苗木に預けたナイフよ。やっぱりそうだよね。
あのナイフを持ってたとなると、つまり犯人は苗木っちってことだべ。
ナイフを預かってたからってどうして僕が犯人ってことになるの？
だってナイフの傷が致命傷だろ。だったら間違いねえべ。おめえがあのナイフでブスリとやったんだ。
苗木まこと恐ろしい男ね。
After the tarp was removed, which means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
あの死体に刺さってたナイフってさ、私が苗木に預けたナイフよ。やっぱりそうだよね。
あのナイフを持ってたとなると、つまり犯人は苗木っちってことだべ。
ナイフを預かってたからってどうして僕が犯人ってことになるの？
だってナイフの傷が致命傷だろ。だったら間違いねえべ。おめえがあのナイフでブスリとやったんだ。
苗木まこと恐ろしい男ね。 あの死体に刺さってたナイフってさ、私が苗木に預けたナイフよ。やっぱりそうだよね。
あのナイフを持ったとなると、つまり犯人は苗木っちってことだべ。
ナイフを預かってたからってどうして僕が犯人ってことになるの？
だってナイフの傷が致命傷だろ。それは違う。
いや、そもそも戦場袋の致命傷は
Das da wohl
ナイ
nicht
フ
so
の
was
傷じゃ
geben,
なかったん
Bro.
だ。それはさっきの偽装工作の話でも明らかになったはずだよ。
嘘だべ。さっきは致命傷の話なんかしてねえぞ。
思い出してよ。さっきの話だとさ、犯人は死体にビニールシートをかぶせた後で血痕付きの白衣を着させたんだよね。つまり被害者があの白衣を着たのは死んだ後ってことになるはずだよ。
それがどうしたんだって？
だけどさ、僕たちが死体を発見した時はナイフは白衣の上から刺さってたよね。死んだ後に着させられた白衣の上から刺さっていたナイフが致命傷になるわけないんだ。
もう同じ箇所を2回刺した可能性はどうなんだ？殺す時と偽装工作の時の2回だ。
これだ。モノクマファイルに書いてあったはずだよ。ナイフに。
そうだ、盛大に忘れてたべ。
じゃああのナイフって
あれも犯人の偽装工作だったんだよ。きっと本当の致命傷に目を向けさせないためにより目立つ傷をでっち上げたんだ。その後死体が爆破されたのも同じ理由だったはずだよ。あの爆破のせいで死体は激しく損傷し致命傷がわからなくなってしまった。つまり証拠隠滅、それこそが犯人の目的だったんだよ。
死体発見時にナイフの傷を印象付けておき、その後死体を爆破する。そうすることで最初の印象だけを残したまま証拠隠滅を図ったというわけか。
ちょっといい？そもそもの話なんだけどさ、結局あの爆発って何だったの？どうしていきなり爆発なんかしたの？
真面目に頭を働かせろ。わざわざ答えるまでもないことだ。
だったら教えてよ。
教えてやんべ。おそらく未知の粒子によって体内で核反応が起きて自然発火したんだ。
それだけは違う。確実に言えるよ。
苗に答えてやれ。話が進まん。
これだ。爆発の後死体のそばに小さな破片が落ちてたでしょ。この破片があの爆発の原因だったんだ。
あれ？それってどこかで見たような気が。
見覚えがあって当然だよ。だってこの破片はモノクマを解体した時に取り出したあの爆弾の破片なんだからね。
Part of a bomb.
じゃああの爆発ってモノクマの爆弾のせいだったんだね。
ともかくこれで犯人の目的は明らかになったな。犯人はナイフの傷を致命傷に見せかけることで苗木に容疑がかかるように仕向けていたんだ。そんなことをして得をする人物といえばもう
Kyoko.
一人の容疑者であるキリギリ京子。
ちょっと待って戸上君。
なんだどう
いや、もう少し慎重に話し合った方がいいと思うんだ。被害者の致命傷だってまだ分かってないんですさ。
そうだね。確かに気になるかも。結局本当の致命傷って何だったのかな。
まあいいだろう。では議論を続けるか。どうせ結末には変わりはないんだ。
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
では議論を続けるぞ。被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだったな。
あの爆発は致命傷じゃないんだよね。
当然だべ。爆発があったのは死んだ後だぞ。
ナイフも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しいのか。
モノクマファイルによると、そうだ、後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
それ以外にもこの被害者には全身に無数の傷があったらしいぞ。では議論を続けるぞ。被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだったな。
あの爆発は致命傷じゃないんだよね。
当然だべ。爆発があったのは死んだ後だぞ。
ナイフも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しいのか。
モノクマファイルによると、そうだ、後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
それ以外にもこの被害者には全身に無数の傷があったらしいぞ。
I think the metal pipe is what killed her.
では議論を続けるぞ。被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだったな。
あの爆発は致命傷じゃないんだよね。
Although I don't think I have to shoot this but the fatal injury, so I should have grabbed that and then used it on Yasuhiro's
ナイ
sentence.
フも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しいのか。
モノクマファイルによると、そうだ、後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
Yeah, I have to grab the fatal
そ
injury
れ以
one.
外にもこの被害者には全身に無数の傷があったらしいぞ。では議論を続けるぞ。被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだったな。
あの爆発は致命傷じゃないんだよね。
当然だべ。爆発があったのは死んだ後だぞ。
ナイフも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しいのか。
モノクマファイルによると、そうだ、後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
Why? Then I have to shoot the Monokuma fire
議
on
論
the...
被害者の致命傷。あの爆発は致命。
当然だべ。
ナイフも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しい。
モノクマファイルによると、そうだ、後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
What is going on? Hit on the back of her, fatal injury, then the other way? This game is so sperm
被害者の
sometimes.
致命傷。あの爆発は致命。
当然だべ。
It's so obvious what I want, but I just can't do it because the game has only one
後頭
way
部に殴られた跡があったんだ。
そ
to
れ
do
以
his
外に
thing.
全身に無数の傷があったらしいぞ。では議論を続けるぞ。被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだ。
The other way around. Okay. Sure. I don't know why it doesn't work the other way around, but only one way.
戦
Okay,
場
sure.
ムクロの致命傷は後頭部の打撃痕だったはずだよ。
全身の無数の傷ってのは、あれは事件とは関係ねえのか？
モノクマファイルによるとあれは以前からあった古傷らしいんだ。
古傷じゃ関係ねえか。
では間違いないな。 あいつの致命傷は後頭部の殴打だったようだ。
じゃあ凶器って
モノクマファイルには鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のもので殴られたって。
ってことはツルハシだな。
どうしてそうなるのよ。ツルハシで殴ったら殴打どころか頭蓋骨粉砕よ。
きっとツルハシを逆に持って持ち手の柄の部分で殴ったんだべ。
無理よ、重さのバランスが悪いもの。威力のある一撃なんて不可能だわ。なんなら試してあげるわよ。
さてはおめえ間違ったふりして金属の方で殴るつもりだな。
その後あんたの汚い脳みそ取り出して床に叩きつけて唾を吐きかけてやるのよ。
気が合うな。
合ってるの？
凶器ならすでに見つかっているぞ。
見つかったんですか。さすがは白夜様。
なんだべ。
ナイギ答えてやれ。お前にも分かっているはずだ。
答えてヌメロス。
これだ。戦場ムクロの後頭部を殴打した凶器は武道場のロッカーで見つけたジュラルミン製の矢だよ。
ジュラルミン製の矢。犯人はそれで戦場ムクロを殴ったんか。
ああ、間違いない。
そうなのかな。それっておかしくない？
ちょっとあんた白夜様に口答えなんて100万年早いわよ。
だって気になるんだから仕方ないじゃん。
武道場のロッカーにあったジュラルミン製の矢、間違いない。あれが凶器だ。
本当にそうなのかな。
何を気にしてんだ。
だってモノクマファイルには凶器は鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のものってあるよ。矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
白夜様に口答えなんて
Oh, dude,
1
again?
億年早いわよ。
No, I have to choose the titanium arrows. Nearly thick enough. Which is why they use the
武
bloody
道場のロ
duct
ッカ
tape.
ーにあったジュラルミン製の矢、間違いない。あれが凶器だ。
本当にそうなのかな。
何を気にしてんだ。
だってモノクマファイルには凶器は鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のものってあるよ。矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
白夜様に口答えなんて
Well, I'm gonna use spacebar then video game.
武道場のジュラルミン間違いない。
本当に。
何を気に。
だってモノクマ凶器は鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のものってあるよ。矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
Fuck you, man.
白夜様に1億年早いわよ。武道場のジュラルミン間違いない。
本当に。
何を気に。
だってモノクマ凶器は鉄パイプ程度の太さの棒状のものってあるよ。矢だと細すぎると思うんだけど。
それは違うよ。確かに矢だけだと細すぎる。だから犯人はもう一つの凶器を使ったんだ。
もう一つの凶器。
武道場のロッカーの中には丸められたガムテープもあったんだ。きっと犯人はこのガムテープを使ってジュラルミン製の矢を束ねたんだよ。矢をガムテープで束ねることによって鉄パイプ程度の太さの凶器を作り上げ、それを凶器として使ったんだ。
3本の矢の教えと同じね。戦国武将である毛利元就が息子たちに説いた教え。 一本では脆い矢も束になれば頑丈になる。そうやって三兄弟に結束を訴えかけたのよ。
残酷な話だべ。
後悔を聞いてないでし
とにかくこれで凶器も分かったはずだ。そしてそれらの凶器を武道場のロッカーに隠した犯人こそがキリギリ京子、お前なんだ。
私は武道場なんかに行ってないわ。
いや、お前は間違いなく武道場に行っている。
どうして言い切れるの？
もちろん証拠があるからだ。そうだよな、ナエミ。どうした？
What's the matter?
まさか犯人をかばうつもりじゃないだろうな。
Surely you don't intend to protect the
そんな
murderer.
ことをしてどうなるか分かってるのか？もしお前がかばった人物が犯人だったら、その先に待っている結末は俺たちの全員の死なんだぞ。
もちろん分かってるよ。
だったらお前の手で示してやれ。キリギリが武道場に行った証拠をな。
これだ。キリギリさんが武道場に行った証拠はこの武道場のロッカーの鍵だよ。
そんなものがどうして証拠になるの？
これがキリギリさんの部屋に落ちてたからだよ。
私の部屋に？
とぼけても無駄だ。それにこの鍵だけじゃない。
But wait, something is off about this. Didn't Byakuya have Kyoko's key? So Kyoko had no access to her own room? How would she put it there?
アリバイの件も動機の件も苗木に罪をなすりつけるための偽装工作の件も、それらの全てがお前が犯人だと示している。諦めろ。言い逃れはできんぞ。
ちょっと待って。
またか。お前はどうしてもキリギリをかばいたいらしいな。
いや、かばうとかそういうことじゃなくて、僕はただキリギリさんに聞かなくちゃいけないことがまだ残っているんだよ。キリギリさん、教えてほしいんだ。昨日の夜、キリギリさんは僕の部屋にいたよね。あの時何があったの？どうして僕の部屋にいたの？それを教えてほしいんだ。
私はあなたを助けただけよ。
え？
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? She came to my rescue. Could that be then? Should mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
もういいだろう。無駄話は終わりだ。そろそろ結論を出すぞ。
ちょっと待って、間違わないで。私は犯人じゃない。
まさかお前の往生際がそこまで悪いとはな。
だけど私が犯人じゃないってことはあなたが一番よく知っているはずよ。そうでしょう。
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
俺がだと？
I should know? What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? That he's the killer? There's no way.
今の言葉はどういう意味だ？
そのままの意味よ。私が犯人じゃないということはあなたが一番よく知っているはず。
トガミッチ、なんか隠してんのか？
白夜様が私に隠し事するわけないじゃない。
キリギリ、お前が犯人ではない根拠があるとでも言うのか？
さっきのあなたたちの推理だから。私は武道場のロッカーに証拠を隠し、その鍵を自分の部屋に置いたらしいわね。本当に私にそんなことができたのかしら。
今の言葉はどういう意味だ。
そのままの意味よ。私が犯人じゃないということはあなたが一番よく知っているはず。
トガミッチ、なんか隠してんのか？
ヤクヤ様が私に隠し事するわけないじゃない。
キリギリ、お前が犯人ではない根拠があるとでも言うのか。
さっきのあなたたちの推理だと私は武道場のロッカーに証拠を隠しその鍵を自分の部屋に置いたらしいわね。本当に私にそんなことができたのかしら。
今の言葉はどういう意味だ。
そのままの意味ね。私が犯人じゃないということはあなたが一番よく知っているはず。
トガミッチ、なんか隠してんのか？
ヤクヤ様が私に隠し事するわけないじゃない。
キリギリ、お前が犯人。
それは違うよ。キリギリさんは自分の部屋には入れなかったはず。
自分の部屋に入れなかったって。
だってキリギリさんは自分の部屋の鍵を戸上君に預けたままだったんだよ。
そうか、そういうことか。俺がお前の部屋の鍵を持っているということは。
鍵を持ってない私は自分の部屋に入ることができない。つまり自分の部屋に武道場の鍵を置くことは不可能だ。そうでしょ。
確かにそうなるな。
やっと分かってくれたみたいね。
No, that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself is such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened because she's the killer, or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? When I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. The mastermind's trap. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... Mastermind's trap? Victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it, but who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you will never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? And I have to decide right here and now whether or not expose Kyoko's lie. What? Here's the lie. There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now. A lie? Isn't that right, Kyoko?
そう言うからには
You said it, the burden of proof is on you.
聞かせてもらうわよ。私の言葉にどこに嘘があるのか。私の部屋の鍵は戸上君に預けたままだったわ。間違いないわよね。
確かにその通り。
Oh,
つまり私は自分の部屋には入れなかったわね。
それは違うよ。
yeah, she could tell.
いや、キリギリさんは自分の部屋に入れたはずだよ。それはキリギリさん自身も言ってたよね。
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I use Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school.
モノクマの秘密道具？
キリギリさんが学園長室から盗み出した学園内の全ての鍵を開けられる道具だよ。それを使えばキリギリさんは自分の部屋に入れたはずなんだ。
どうやらここまでのようね。
And I guess that's it.
認めるんだな、自分の罪を。
いいえ、私は自分の負けを認めただけよ。
どういう意味？
たとえ罠だとしてもその罠から抜け出せなかった以上は私の負け、そういう意味よ。
じゃあもしかして本当にキリギリさんは犯人じゃ。
はい、タイムアップです。残念だけど時間切れ。終わり終わり。
タイムアップなんておかしいよ。だって今まで一度もそんなことを。
ギリギリさんが遅刻したせいだよ。そのせいで時間が押してんの。というわけでそろそろ投票タイムといきましょうか。もう来るは決まりきってるけどね。うぷうぷぷぷぷぷぷぷぷぷ。
Is this real? You got it right. Brilliantly right. You got it right. Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? Something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko. I prepared an extra special punishment this time. Is everyone ready? Okay then. Let's give it everything we've got. This punishment time. That's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent or, regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me, I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial, and in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once the case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope, hope, hope. This is hope. No, this isn't right.
苗木、何をぼーっとしている。キリギリの主張に反論はないのか。
Her claim? Oh, that's right. I have to. Do I expose Yoko's lie or not? I made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she could kill someone. There has to be some secret here. I mean, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned. But does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as a fact? I see, so you still refuse to accept it.
キリギリの個室に武道場のロッカーの鍵を置いたのは キリギリではなく他の誰かだったということか。
でも他の誰かって
キリギリッチの部屋の鍵を持ってたのはトガミッチなんだよな。
何言ってんのよ。
だが俺にはアリバイがある。夜時間以降はお前たちとずっと一緒だったはずだ。植物庭園での殺人もキリギリの部屋に鍵を置くことも。
じゃあキリギリッチの部屋に武道場の鍵を置いたのって。
考えられる可能性は一つだけだ。あらかじめ自分が持っていた鍵をあたかもその場で見つけたようなふりをした。
それって苗木のことだよね。
そうとしか考えられまい。
ちょっと待ってよ。そうじゃないって。
You got it all wrong.
もう
Let's
一度
think
考え
about
て
it
みよ
one
う。
more time.
この事件には何か裏があるはずなんだ。
You don't side to this case.
裏？
そもそもこの学級裁判自体がおかしいんだよ。みんなだってそう思うでしょ。正体不明だった戦場ムクロが急に死体で現れて、しかもその学級裁判が行われるなんて。それにキリギリさんも言ってただろ、黒幕の罠だって。だからきっとこれは。
はい、タイムアップです。時間切れ。学級裁判は終わり。
なんだよ時間切れって。
どういうこと？タイムアップなんておかしいわ。だって今まで一度もそんなこと。
ギリギリさんが遅刻したせいだよ。そのせいで時間が押してんの。というわけでそろそろ投票タイムといきましょうか。お前らお手元のスイッチで投票してください。
投票タイム。
さて投票の結果黒となるのは誰なのか。
ちょっと待てよ。
さあどうなんだ。
Is it me? Is this the Kyoko? It's me! Yeah, I did it, guys. What? Think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it. Good job, everyone. Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. Makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko,
許してもらおうとは思わ
I
ない
don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
では張り切っていきましょう。
What the hell just happened? What's going on? Hey, what's that? It had to be. Alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from the stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it, all to hell, I don't believe this. It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you have already won? I barely felt a thing, it was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage stream pit, in a way that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you, bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on? It's okay, we are not the ones being trapped this time. Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. What are you talking about? You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy brings in top students from every field imaginable, government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you set it for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to be already attending high school. Two, you have to be very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school field with ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I had ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together, and then I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench of invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell! I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Flash spiraled high across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in, but that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen, not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now, for myself and for my friend. And with that my pursuit of survival began. First step was to start looking for a way out of here. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is it an airplane? I did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit. Rattle, it's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten, but that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in all sides, but that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I never give up. After making the proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was to go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least the food I had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down here? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out over whatever it was and had tumbled here with me.
ちょっ
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
とひどい匂いね。
This place smells awful. Kyoko? You look like you are doing better than I expected. What are you doing
それ
here?
は
Isn't it obvious I'm here to help you? I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
ね
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Dude, that really hit the spot. I got all the energy I need to keep going. You still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. That's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me? To pay a debt? Or no, to atone.
あ
Atone?
なたは
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
ええ
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
私は
I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
だけど
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
そうね
I tell you everything. The reason I have to
つ
survive
まり
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak Academy for one very important reason. So you have reason coming for Hope Speak?
ええ
That's right, at least I did once.
私は
Until recently, I forgotten what it was. I forgot what it's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? You lost your
苗
memory.
木くん
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
そうよ
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
どうやら
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I had forgotten, I couldn't remember why I had come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that? Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance, it seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
そうよ
I don't think, I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind, they stole my memory. Why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with, because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
でも
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this code and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to
な
help
ん
you?
で
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
So-
But don't make too big deal of it, it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it. The mastermind is one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
でも
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just an intuition, but your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could be in the mastermind.
僕は
I understand.
僕は
I should understand everything.
目的は
My goal isn't to get out of here,
ここに残
it's
る
to
こと
stay
なんだ
here. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
ね
Are you okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
えね
Even I still trust you, you know? It's just I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you to help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just your personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own, so how did that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
それは
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability, my ability, but everyone should have known me for... I'm the ultimate detective. Yeah, the ultimate detective. And the reason I came to Hope Speak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
それは
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
つまり
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope Speak. Kyoko's dad is Hope Speak headmaster? That explains. When Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved,
私は
I find a way.
私
No
は
matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster, no matter the cost.
私は
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose of coming here was to find him. That makes sense. But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
それは
The room had been ransacked, shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
そうね
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. It's right there, because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of a map. It's the layout of the entirety of Hope Speak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check, and that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there? But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms, I didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what's it like? That's that part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is,
私は
the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
それは
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get a chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important and really ominous.
だけど
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. That's to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it? Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her? What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
ええ
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to throw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial. Plus, the mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
So-
Exactly.
つまり
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations. There's one other thing I would like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim? You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night?
私は
I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this, which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
So,
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
だけど
That wasn't the end of things, of course I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
そう
And the murderer was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the classifier to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class riot to try and kill you because you couldn't interfere, right?
So-
You're right, that is a contradiction, and it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class riot to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction, so what does it all mean? It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
苗木くん
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not. If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they are the ultimate
どうや
despair.
ら
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair, then they are, make no mistake, they are the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. There's not gonna be another case, right? The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing, Monokuma's secretor, that you got from the headmaster's room? Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
So-
That's right. Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door.
そう
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole, and then... Yes, it opened.
ええ
And now we can get out of here, let's go. Sounds good. Quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Easy. Finally, we were finally free, but there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was like a metal ladder leading up to the tunnel, into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it even ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help my mind off of it. I'm so Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work?
それ
How long?
は
Ever since I can remember, I came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family has always seen it that way. Then is your family famous?
違うわ
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how come? It's like your family tradition, right?
そう
Because we take pride in it. Pride? A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that we have to stand separate from the rest of the society. Which is why we have made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Conscious effort?
そうね
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it, because like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school, and I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
でも
And yet, I gave up on some of that pride.
私は
In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that. Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. But you would be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have so much to talk
違う
about.
わ
There's nothing I want to talk to my father
だけ
about.
ど
There is one thing I want to say to him though. What?
私は
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
それは
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
そう
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me, because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I would never have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, and so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that what she might be feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more
私
emotional.
は
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true. There's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
それは
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they saw me even to this day.
私は
His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we are no longer family, in order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like
違
that.
うわ
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I don't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We are back. Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand and pushed up against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... I'm back. Looks like we are back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. Can't exactly say we are safe and sound, but at least we are out there. Now we are back in Hope's Peak Academy. Yoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out there with you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You had me so they might... You're worried? Yeah, of course. Then let's just get a concrete answer.
つまり
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time we are found out. And it's not like we can run away. As she said it, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. Mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before, what does it mean?
それが
Mastermind is stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down. There was. If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it, and it will be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little super uneasy about this, but we don't really have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym.
行きましょうか
Let's get going. Never would have imagined that's where this led. Hey. Yoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be there. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought that he would react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Yoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Yoko, do whatever you feel you have to.
でも
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
もし
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
は
I lose? You explain yourself, what do you mean by that?
だって
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me. I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
でも
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in the position one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
だけど
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Oh, Torigo, you never imagined the possibility of being that could come to an aid even after you had killed it.
そうなんです
Now here's the absolute proof. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
いいわね
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? That means I lose? You talk a big game, you're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto? And you can prove this, right?
そう
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
別にいい
I don't have any right now. But with a little more time, I can guarantee you I find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. Now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type? If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution, he would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love so to inspire. But here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
なんだ
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence? It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto, now everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
そうよ
Imagine what everyone out there would think of you if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
いいわね。
Despair can never kill hope.
ね
Of course, you can say we are just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. Now you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square, then I suggest you take my advice. So what is this advice of yours? To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
そこで最後
It's time
の
for
勝負
one
をしましょう
last showdown,
希望と
one
絶
final
望
battle between hope and despair.
ね
That would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? Fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They probably just execute me without another word. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Very?
どうかしたか
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little, so time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax. Does that mean you accept? If you do things your way, that will be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will by despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown. You agreed? Then we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely hitting an end. So for the final face-off, you have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery is spawning around the school. If you can do that, then that will be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
そうね
That's what we have been trying to do all along. Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school, then you win. But if you can't do all of that, you face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement when you learn the whole truth. What kind of despair will you show me? We are as excited as you are, I'm sure.
いいわね
When we have uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this all turned out.
ね
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
どうかしたくま
I remember that for sure, so what?
ね
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I have said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Mukuro's trial is no exception, that is part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro. It's very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are the 16 students. What? Are you telling the truth? Why did he go quiet all of a sudden? I'm done talking, I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad? Seems emotional and unstable. Leave me alone, get out of here. I'm going, just... You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. The super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
ね
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away, and just like that we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had the chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. True. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
それは
They had no choice but to accept.
だって
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let their guard down, like I said. So, what was it? When was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
それは
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? He said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world. Yeah, they definitely said that. And what do you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe. Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable. You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off. And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it. But think of it another way, there must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. Reason? They had to show the world something no matter the cost, us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
どうやら
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. And it makes sense, if those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody. So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other and show that off to the world. Why? To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point? The outside world has a name for the students of Hope speak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope,
そう
right?
よ
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that. To try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, as the ultimate despair. They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous. You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose or motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
大輝くん
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness.
つまり
What? Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but one-sided slaughter.
少なくとも
At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves. That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
そう
So instead they tried to use a class trial following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer that made me out of the killer. But even that didn't work, yet thanks to you. And due to the failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion. To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form. It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they have violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge. But it's only thanks to you that we got a chance, because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
違うわ
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. Looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment you decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I had showed my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right, how pathetic. Anyway, we can just relax yet. All we have done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
そう
For everything we have gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it will cost us our lives. There is no option except to win. But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is now work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone. Is that really possible?
とにかく
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
行きましょうか
They're probably in the dome somewhere. Shall we go?
とにかく
Alright, Greeted with you again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. Jeez, what the heck? I wonder what that was all about. Couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah,
苗木だよね。
is that Makoto? You guys.
やっぱり苗木だ。どの角度から見ても苗木だよ。
あら生きてたのね。
まったくゴキブリ並みのしぶとさだな。
Little cockroach.
念のために聞いとくけど幽霊じゃねえよな。
Everyone was there, all my friends who had struggled together and survived. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
なんだ
Wait, what's that smell?
なんだこりゃ。
Yeah, I mean, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto, it smells like a wet dog. Get away! And in a flash, my tears dried up.
苗木くん
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what had happened with
な
Monokuma.
んだ
Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
そう
That's related to what I have to tell you. Well, I need to tell you about the last class trial. Last class trial? We are going to redo Mukuro's trial. What? Seriously? What's the point of redoing it if Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
違うわ。
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
なるほどな
What she's saying, it was all the work of the mastermind. What? So you're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
そうよ。
That's right, it was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
だけど
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
なんだと
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just,
でも
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed. Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
そう
Very observant of you.
当然
I
だ
recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the masterminds that's ensnared, that's what you're referring to. Yeah, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again later. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
それって
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? There's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery?
でも
But we have been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
とにかく
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone else dies.
ありえね
Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with the things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever, Master. I meanwhile want to get out of here as soon as possible.
とに
Humanly
かく
possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
面白い
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I would say.
でも
But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school's mysteries is pretty friggin' order. Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we solve all those mysteries. Not so sure about that.
私は
I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
ええ
That's what I thought too at first, until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. It's a very polarizing approach, I know. Okay, enough puns. Anyways, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you already. This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
なるほどな
Monokuma said that, didn't he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But why?
つまり
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
つまりだ
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
そう
And of those 60 people, we started out with the only one still alive. Are the people standing right here? Need I continue or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us? You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for the sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that all to confuse us. It certainly is a possibility, but only among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they are an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, they would have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
それは
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
でも
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
そうじゃねえのか
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot, maybe they loaded up the dialogue and the actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. But it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation well, maybe, but still. Deva.
お前これからそこでこう好きに調べてちょうだいな。
Look wherever you want, solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. This is cool. You probably figured this out by now, but at this point the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want, solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
うぷぷ。では学級裁判でお会いしましょう。
Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
ふーん
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
まあいいだろう
The time for talk is done, we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway. At this point I can rely only on myself, only on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your
じゃあ
responsibility.
な
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuyo left the dining hall. He'd take me with him.
おいおい
Do you blame him? Your master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. Now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko? That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
だべ
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too. Wait, how come?
どうだっ
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? Guess I do the same thing. I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know. But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I'm mostly been totally useless. So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that will help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see ya later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits and as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two. So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kirko? Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we are going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together. That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
じゃあ
But I would better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check. Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
八木君
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. That Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I have to prove the mastermind isn't one of us, because it isn't. That's just crazy to say. And then we can all escape together. Mukuro Monokuma file. Gates open. We can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. Second floor of the dorms, it looks like some ancient ruins. It's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up or up here or something. Faded lockers. Must have been for Hope's big students who came before us. Class before ours must have used these lockers. No plug. There's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean? Let's just give it a try. No luck. Maybe the only locker's owner can open it, which means none of us can do it. This room doesn't feel like a student's room. It has more like an adult atmosphere.
そう
It's the headmaster's private room. Kyoko. I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I just had to check it out one more time. Regret? There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
どうやら
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the Ultimate Despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. Then we might be able to get some info on the Ultimate Despair. There's not much though, nothing we don't already know. The Ultimate Despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. The group is responsible for the tragedy which happened 1 year ago. They are the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair. And that's all there is. Not much to it, is there? But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Krieger failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I would appreciate whatever info we can get our hands on. You see, that's a good outlook to have. Regret? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. There's a strange gap in the wall. It's some kind of design to make or a construction defect or something.
それは
But there's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out the breeze. There's like an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space, does that mean? You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Did you figure out some kind of trick or something? A very easy trick, yes, so easy I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. It's a program on the PC I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up. But I don't have a clue what the password might be. All we know is probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right. That's not really enough to go on.
そうね
I looked through all his paperwork, all the files on PC and everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this. What if the password is Kyoko? There's a hidden room she couldn't get into, that's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there, but maybe for her there's more to it than that. Figure out the password, and if Kyoko can figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of. Something she didn't want to think of, for example. What about your name? Oh sorry, I was just trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it, I mean it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as his password, knowing how she is, but I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Do you mind if I try it just to be sure?
さあ
It's not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, do whatever you want. I thought of trying Kyoko's name, but if that's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
ね
If you're worried about me, Makoto, don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Hey, in that case, it goes nothing. I collected myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. Typed in her full name, Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly trembling, and as I finished typing it, that was easy. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked.
どうして
Why? Kyoko? You're looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko. Hey Kyoko, I may as well not have been in that room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. Present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. Better check out the suspicious present before I do anything else. Brightly colored box here. Seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting kind of a bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay. Be careful, Makoto. Ah, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous, but surprising probably. Huh.
どうやら
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you will be happy to see. Wait, so you know what's in there?
とにかく
Just don't scream or anything, okay? I think it's something that will make me want to scream. Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath and took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kirko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, we could have possibly imagined.
なるほどね
Just as I thought. Just as you thought? How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there, human bones. But it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically, I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing, a dead guy in a box? My father. What about him?
そう
What you found in the box? Those bones, that body. That's my father. Or at least that's what's left of him. Serious? Kyoko's dead? The same man she's been searching for? Hold on, how can you know that for sure? How do you know that's him?
それは
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. Wait for this. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. Here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume.
つまり
But most likely, my father was in the school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained her analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm, she was only trying to seem calm. She said it was just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility, but I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong, which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father so she could cut off all ties with him, but what was that all there was to it? Would she really give up her pride just for that? Couldn't help but wonder. This picture. So faded, but it must be pretty odd. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko?
本当に
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... To now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? And I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
どうして
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here. Now he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole my only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been worse? A worse father? Kyoko. Headmaster's desk. It's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I really don't want to touch Kyoko's dead desk without her permission.
ね
Don't worry about me, feel free to look around as much as you like.
えだって
Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Rummage through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents, but in the last drawer... Is this? It's an e-handbook, right? It has a label on it that it says in case of emergency. I found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk. A handbook with no limitations given to the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that was. That is, I think you're probably
どう
right.
やら
It might prove useful as we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? But Kyoko,
私は
I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. I guess I take it. Is it really okay?
ね
Listen, Makoto. Can I ask you a favor? Favor? What is
え
it?
それは
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it will only inconvenience you that much more, but
ね
could you leave?
えそう
Just for a little while. I would just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry, I'm fine. I just need to calm down a little. I need to get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. But you're only connected by blood, not by heart and soul, but maybe that picture motivated him, maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. The picture doesn't change the facts of what happened, what I went through.
私は
The problem can be solved so easily. You're right, I'm sorry. Once I've got myself under control, I return to the investigation immediately, so please just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand, and I see you later. Is she really okay, Kyoko? It must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. To find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt that Mastermind performed that evil deed. They killed the headmaster, killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. Oops, peak headmaster. The same person may very well be the headmastermind who planned all this out. But we were wrong about the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is... "15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mukuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead." Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still alive left are me, Yokio, Hiro, Toko, Ina, Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive. Then there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. So does that mean? But let's just give it a try. What about the emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Let's give it one more try. There's this one thing, some kind of pocket book. I don't see your name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is, but there's some writing inside, it could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I would better take a look. Looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters that are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I had heard before. There's a plan to turn Hope Speak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigies safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only the genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to serve as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was. And I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But if this belongs to Kyoko, what's it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She says she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. Talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the whole notebook. It must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing. But when I reached the last page, the question mark spinning through my mind just started spinning that much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. The locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to probably has organization problems in every part of their life. There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume wherever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw. But the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have evaporated. What? Yasuro Hagakure. There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes. What if the ultimate despair, which is a group, is us? Which would mean you attended classes here? No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to this school at the same time as the rest of us, and we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? This is a crystal ball, huh? Crystal ball? Oh, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Deck of playing cards? No, they're tarot cards, but wait, aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? But the more I see, the less sense it makes, because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? Notebook that says like it belongs to Hiro, and a pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. That's just some kind of explanation, but if I want to find it, I have to keep moving the investigation forward, and I have to believe in everyone. Torn apart. Seriously, nothing here. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Oh, Makoto, it's you. Oh, Byakuyo. This is where I'm gonna continue tomorrow, or maybe later on today. We'll see what this game has in store for me. I don't know what this last chapter will be, but if I had to guess, the tendency of this game is to give you hope and then boom, despair. So everyone will either die or we will be the despair, a group of people who are the ultimate despair. We'll see. I'm also suspecting that we have once went to the school, and then when that, you know, thing happened, when we fainted, is us entering the killing game, because we did a killing beforehand. Whatever, I don't know. See you guys next time.